Okay, so let's get right into this explainer. Today, we're looking at a serious blueprint for navigating the intense, fast-paced world of college tech courses. You and I both know just how insanely dense a computer science or AI curriculum can be, right? It's like a maze. But what if the best guide for that maze wasn't some professor with 30 years of tenure, but the person sitting literally right next to you in the lecture hall? Let's dive into this incredibly inspiring story.
19. Yeah, just 19 years old. It's so easy to fall into the trap of thinking mentorship requires decades of industry experience, a wall completely covered in degrees, and some fancy senior job title. But honestly, sometimes a 19-year-old college freshman is exactly the guide you need. Why? Because they're in the trenches with you right now. They know exactly where the stumbling blocks are, mostly because, well, they just tripped over them yesterday.
So meet Ahmed Ali Hashish. He's an ambitious first-year student at the Faculty of Computers and Artificial Intelligence. And Ahmed isn't just surviving his freshman year, he is on an absolute mission. He realized super early on that his peers, and all the incoming students, were struggling to make sense of these incredibly dense, heavy tech specializations. And instead of just putting his head down and focusing purely on his own GPA, he decided to step up. He became a real beacon for his classmates, trying to make the coursework easier for everyone to digest.
Section 1. Simplifying complex tech concepts.
Now, Ahmed didn't just casually offer a bit of help in study groups. He actually formalized his mission by founding an educational platform called Learn Easily. And man, that name hits the nail right on the head. University often hands us this incredibly heavy, abstract academic theory. But out there in the real world demands actionable, practical application. Ahmed's platform acts as the bridge between those two extremes. He essentially takes all that dense theory and translates it into the practical, hands-on skills you actually need to build things.
Let's look at the specific topics Ahmed is breaking down here, because this is the absolute bedrock of a solid tech education. We're talking C++ foundations, which, let's be real, can be an absolute beast for beginners. Then there's data structures and algorithms. That's basically the hurdle every single software engineer has to clear. Throw in web development with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, plus artificial intelligence basics. By providing these simplified, super practical explanations in these core areas, he's helping his fellow students build a rock-solid foundation that university pacing sometimes, well, just rushes right past.
Section 2. The 4 Golden Rules.
Okay, so Ahmed has synthesized his whole experience into 4 really actionable tenets for computer science and AI students. Rule number 1, practical application. Ahmed argues that we absolutely shouldn't settle for just academic theory. I mean, it is so easy to fall into the trap of passively watching lectures, taking meticulous notes, and feeling like, yeah, I'm learning. But the reality? You don't really know it until you build it. You need to immediately start writing code and creating your own projects. That pivot from passive listening to active building, that's when everything finally clicks.
Then we have Rule 2, which is self-learning. And here is the harsh truth, guys. The university curriculum is just the starting line. It is absolutely not the finish line. If you want to stand out in what is a highly, highly competitive tech job market, you simply cannot rely solely on what's handed to you in a syllabus. True excellence, that comes from developing your skills independently. You've got to push beyond the classroom and do your own continuous research to see where the industry is actually heading.
Which naturally brings us to Rule 3, time management. Because think about it, if you're going to do all this extra self-learning, when exactly are you going to find the time? Ahmed points out that balancing those heavy college requirements with the development of your personal technical skills is the absolute key to success. Mastering that daily struggle, juggling mandatory coursework while also prioritizing your own personal growth and project building, that is a massive skill in itself. It requires serious discipline, focus, and a really structured routine. And finally, Rule 4, community participation. The really crucial point here is that learning just doesn't happen in a vacuum. By helping others and sharing your knowledge, you're actually supercharging your own learning. It literally solidifies the information in your own brain. I mean, you really don't fully understand a concept until you can successfully explain it to someone else. And this is exactly what Ahmed is doing. By teaching his peers, he's mastering the material himself, while simultaneously building an awesome supportive network and opening up totally new horizons for everyone involved.
Section 3. More than just code.
It's so incredibly easy to get completely lost in the syntax, the endless error messages, and just a sheer wall of text on a screen. But Ahmed sums up the bigger picture perfectly here.
He notes that programming is not just complex codes, but a tool for solving problems that can be mastered with the right guidance and continuous practice. I love that. That philosophy completely demystifies the whole field. It strips away all that intimidation factor and reminds us that, at its core, code is just a problem-solving tool. And the absolute best part? It's entirely accessible to anyone who is willing to put in that continuous practice and seek out the right guidance.
Which leads us to a really powerful question for you to take away today. Ahmed started building his tech legacy in year 1. He didn't wait around for permission, and he certainly didn't wait until graduation. So, what problem will you solve with code today? Seriously, don't wait until you finally feel ready, because honestly, that day never really comes. Start writing, start building, and start sharing what you know. Thanks for checking out this explainer, guys. Keep learning, keep building, and use these blueprints to guide your own journey.